Hi, this is my first ever speed paint video slash, story video where I talk about the lore of my characters, that sort of stuff. This one is for my humanoid design of Whiteout for my Wings of Fire universe that I have, because cringe teenager energy never dies, does it? So, grab a cup of water, tea, anything that you should probably be putting into your body, and come sit down and enjoy it. Let's start out with Whiteout's lore. She, along with Darkstalker, were both actually born animi. Although when Darkstalker was all like, "I'm sorry, this is my moment," and she just kind of was like, "Damn, I guess, okay," and decided that she'd let him have this. She was always the quote-unquote golden child of the two of them, and with Darkstalker being the mess-up, always never quite getting there compared to her. So she wanted him to have something all his own. She actually cracked out of her egg just enough to get the effects of the 3 full moons, but it's hidden by the white patches over her eyes. She has selective mutism and is very much so autistic. A few of her favorite things to do are going on walks throughout the Old Night Kingdom, that sort of stuff. And she actually met Thoughtful there. The two of them bonded very quickly over their collective love for certain games, that sort of stuff. And she fell in love. When she came home and told Darkstalker that first time, he flipped out. He was always very obsessive over making sure she was safe at all times, feeling that he'd messed her up because of her selective mutism. And that was always a point of contention between the family. She always loved Darkstalker quite a bit, but never really understood why he was so protective of her. She could fend for herself just fine. She never really understood how the world worked, though, so when Darkstalker stopped coming home one day, she thought that maybe he was just on an adventure with his friends. When she realized that he was dead after Clearsight came to her and ended up crying into her lap about what she had done, and she never really recovered. She didn't even talk for a year afterwards. And, sorry for that little jump right there where suddenly we're now fully in color and shading mode. I, forgot to record me doing the entire coloring thing. That sucked, and I only realized until after I was at this point and crashed out a little bit. Luckily, I got that not on recording. Back to explaining the lore of my universe for Wings of Fire. So, after her Darkstalker died, she kind of threw herself into her studies, becoming one of the best astronomers in the Night Kingdom, but none of that really mattered when they moved to the Nightwing Island. The thick smog and volcanic ash of the area was not really the best for her, and how the other Nightwings treated her was even worse. As she grew up more on the island and got used to it, she didn't really bond with anyone except for her husband, which was really her only friend at that point. After a while of this, she ended up going to talk to the Queen at the time, and the Queen's response to seeing Darkstalker's sister, which could be just as much of a threat, was to throw her into the volcano, because logic, trademark. So the thing was, Darkstalker, when they were about 3, he said one time when, kind of just writing in a scroll without thinking, "I wish Whiteout would never die so both of us could be happy for the rest of our lives," and accidentally cast an animus spell, which made it so that she wouldn't die either, but never the thing of, oh, you won't age or sustain injury. So she was stuck in the damn volcano, just sitting there being like, "Ah, yes, this burns, I'm in deep agony," and just had to deal with that until the modern day. So, modern day rolls around, and she's like, "Man, I'm bored. You know what I'll do? I'll influence greatness in Battlewinter." So that's what she starts doing, just kind of messing around with Nightwing politics by influencing her. And that ends up with her, without thinking, just being like, "Oh yeah, you should hire this guy." The guy in question's name being Soul Splitter, which we will get into in another episode when I do his speed paint. But that leads to something she deeply regrets, which is the studying of the rain wings in multiple very Geneva Convention violating ways. So she ends up just kind of not talking to anyone anymore after that, and be like, oh god, I'm such a terrible dragon, what have I ever done? And why does everyone have to suffer because of me? Because she blames herself for what happened to Darkstalker as well, because she doesn't understand that she couldn't have helped him when she thought that she could at all the time. In general, she just kind of thought she could help everyone she put her mind to if she really wanted to. Never really realizing that maybe what she was doing wasn't able to actually help people, instead just hurting them, or more likely hurting herself, especially with people like Clearsight, right, who she always tried to help but ended up just hurting herself by being too open to listening to what Clearsight said, that about, oh, just tell me where his scroll is. I'm not going to use it for any nefarious or evil purposes, which, I mean, it wasn't really evil if you're saving the world, I guess, but at the same time, her brother got locked away and she was very upset about that. But she ends up not learning her lesson and still trying to help people through any possible way. Okay, so during the modern day, she tries to help the rain wings escape by, get this, causing the volcano to go off. Hoo boy! Accidentally killed a lot of people, and now she just kind of lives on the island in solitude, being like, oh, this is all my fault, I shouldn't have let this happen. And so that's where we are in my storyline right now with Whiteout's story. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Please do let me know if I should make more of these, or if I'm annoying and you're like, oh god, why did this get on my For You page? But I hope you guys enjoyed, and this is the final art piece. Ta-da! And hey, maybe if you're feeling really generous, you could possibly like and subscribe? Just maybe? Anyways, have a good nap, enjoy your time. I'm on this planet, and remember, drink so much more water than you think you need.